What's up, guys? How are we? It's Tuesday night. Welcome to the Anfield Agenda. This is the late night agenda, and of course, I'm your host, Craig. Welcome to the show. As I always say, guys, this is your show. You let me know what you want to talk about. I'm here to please you. Well, that sounds a little bit weird, but I think you get where I'm coming from. Who's the player now, Craig? I love this. No fucking about when it comes to transfers. People want their answers. My God, they want it right now. Stephen Kelly, how are you, sir? Who else have we got in tonight? Fabinho, right back, or Milner? We'll talk about that as well. Lots for us to get through on tonight's show. Let's be fair. There is a lot to get through. I thought it was going to be a quiet week, but things are really starting to heat up. How are we, guys? Let me just click on a few things here, lock a few things on my screen, and we're good to go. Tom Boland is in, Mossy is in, the Revan IPG, Stephen, how are we? Ben, who else we got? Jer, Paul Turner, Jersey Boy, how are we? Anthony Cronin, Jason, Evan Guest, lots of people in, Austin Agard, Longscale 333, how are we? Yes, I see Harry Kane mentioned there. Harry Kane is out for what? 4 weeks, 5 weeks, something like that. Look, Spurs fell apart anyway, as they always do. Their title challenge came to a crashing conclusion. Now they're in a battle for top four, so let's see if they can hold on to that one. Boycott Gillette. Why are we boycotting Gillette, for fuck's sake? What have Gillette done now? Not that I ever buy Gillette. It's far too expensive for my pauper tastes. I'm all about Aldi razors and stuff, so I won't be buying Gillette anyway. Good morning from Australia. How are you, Jer? Great to have you in. Probably nice and early for you though, buddy, is it? Rod usually comes on and it's usually about 6 or 7 a.m. for him. I'm not sure what part of beautiful Australia you're in, Jer, but welcome. What else have we got? Winner Crystal Palace will do it. Trent coming back. Look, there is a bit of an injury crisis for the Reds. Let's have a chat about this before we get on to transfers and all, because we thought the injury crisis might be coming to an end, but no, it's reared its ugly head again. Trent Alexander-Arnold out for somewhere between 2 and 4 weeks with a knee injury. Now, this was the injury he picked up before the game against Brighton, where he tripped over a ball or something in the warm-up. Went on and played the game, but it looks like he did some ligament damage, to his right knee. I think it's his right knee, to his knee anyway, and he could be out for 2 to 4 weeks. Gino Wijnaldum also a doubt for the game against Crystal Palace the weekend. Joe Gomez out, Adam Lallana out, Dejan Lovren out, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain out, Ryan Brewster out. The injury news just keeps coming thick and fast, guys. But the good news is that we do have enough bodies there to cover. As people have suggested already, we can have Fabinho, we can have Jimmy Milner at right back. I'd rather Milner, if I'm being honest. I'd like Fabinho to be in midfield for this one. Gini could probably have done with a rest anyway, so if he's out for a couple of weeks, do you know what? That could be a good rest for him. That could allow him to get his recuperation in. And then we've got that little pre-season break a bit later on in the month as well. Well, it's not really a pre-season break, but a bit of warm weather training over in Dubai. So what do you guys think? Injury worries? Are you worried about it? Spurs fans' heads are falling off at the minute, begging Daniel Levy to bring in a striker. But as they rightly said on Sky, who the fuck is going to want to come into Spurs and play second fiddle to Harry Kane again in 4 weeks' time? Right, let's go through your comments. I'm doing quite well, thank you, Sean. How are you? Got cool. I hope you're keeping well. Danny, how are you? Mossy Kyo as well. Will is in. Will, how are you, sir? Our friend Lenny Plays is in. How are you? Great to have you on again. Gary Richards. All the usual suspects. Thank goodness you're all back again. Every day, no matter how many times I come on and do this, guys, every day I'm shitting myself that nobody shows up, that nobody comes on, or that I'm sitting here. I remember thinking back to the days when we started Anfield Agenda, and you've got maybe 100 followers, or subscribers, 200 subscribers, something like that, and you're talking and you're talking and you're talking, and you're looking at the camera and you're being jolly and you're talking, but out of the corner of your eye the entire time you're looking at the chat window and you're saying, please fucking God, somebody come into that chat window, please God, somebody come in and we can get this chat going. Because unlike other people that are quite good, like you look at Redmen or the Anfield Rap or any of these guys, they're really good, or Mark as well on the United Stand, they're really good at holding a screen and they're really good at talking for prolonged periods of time, whether that be 10, 15 minutes without a break. I'm not that good. I like interaction. I like to be able to come back and forth with people. I can't really hold the screen as well as those guys. So I remember in the early days when nobody was coming on at the start, oh God, it was tough. It was really tough. I used to have to practice with myself for a few minutes just to see if I could get 5 or 10 minutes together. What else have we got? He'll miss the Bayern game, or will he miss the Bayern game? Which one is this, Scotty, now? Are we talking about Trent? If we're talking about Trent, then it's touch and go. It's touch and go, mate. They're saying between 2 and 4 weeks. Craig, you look like a cucumber in that top. Okay, good. I'll take that. Does that mean I'm healthy, Stephen? I don't think Saturday games can be due to the... What's this? I don't think Saturday games can be held due to the forecast about snowing in the UK. You don't think the Saturday games are going to go ahead because of the forecast for snow? Is that what you're saying? Yeah, it's usually not the pitches themselves that cause the games to be cancelled if snow does come through. It's usually because of the surrounding areas being deemed unsafe by the police. So look, we're going to have to just wait and see what happens there. The weather is due to take a change, but you know what? It'd be very, very unfortunate if the entire Premier League schedule was closed down for the weekend. Why did Trent play against Brighton? He didn't feel that the injury was that bad, Crosby read. He thought that he could get through the game, and he did get through the game. He had a fitness test beforehand, but until he went and got a scan, that scan showed up that there was a little bit of ligament damage. Now, not ligament damage like the Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain type ligament damage. I think it was just a strain or bruising or something like that. That should keep him out for a couple of weeks anyway. Play Milner at right back, said Stephen Richards. And these so-called pundits saying Liverpool have been lucky and haven't had any injuries. What the fuck do you call this? Exactly, Tony. We've had more than our fair share this season, buddy. I think it's because we haven't had an injury to Virgil van Dijk, Mohamed Salah, Alisson, one of our mainstays. But that doesn't mean our squad hasn't been stretched to the limit at times. We know it definitely has. Look at this situation for right back here, because Nathaniel Klein has gone on loan to Bournemouth, as we know. So our choices here are young Rafa Camacho or James Milner. That seems to be pretty much it. Maybe Fabinho, as somebody said earlier on. Normally, you could have Gomez as an option. You could drop him into right back and put Lovren or Matip beside Van Dijk, but we know they aren't options. Matip could be coming back, so he could be okay to partner Van Dijk in central defence, but that means you're probably pushing Fabinho into midfield. Then Gini's out, so then you're looking, do you play Henderson, do you play Keita? Lallana is out. I mean, yeah, the options are dropping, but thankfully nothing too long term, which is really, really good. Other than the obvious ones that are already out. Matip back for Saturday. Millie, Camacho, Fabinho available for right back, said Anthony Peters. Mossy Kyo said, I think this is the perfect game for Keita to express himself. I hope so. I really do, Mossy. I love Keita. I can't wait for him to really establish himself and be a mainstay. Somebody asked me yesterday what my perfect three would be in that Liverpool midfield if everybody was on top form, and I said it would be Fabinho, Keita and Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain when he comes back, because to me that midfield screams attack, it screams dynamism, and it screams you're going to have a fucking hard day's work. I love reading through your comments. Some people are just, back and forth. Other people are like, here's the fucking transfer, tell us who the transfer is, you ball prick, I want fucking transfer news. And I'd probably be the same way as well, but we've got to tease this shit out, don't we? Do you know what I mean? You've got to milk that teat a little bit more than once. Some people would leave you hanging right till the end for the transfer news, but I'm not that much of a dick, I promise you. Just give me a couple of minutes and I will get to the transfer ins and outs. Craig, I don't think the injury situation is as bad as people are making out. Calmer heads will prevail, exactly why we added the depth in the summer. Yes, exactly, Evan. Thankfully we've got no real long-term injuries. They're just annoying little niggly injuries that might give the manager a little bit of a headache and maybe not be able to rest some players that he would have wanted to rest. Ella, you're in as well. How are you? Great to have you in as always. City lost back-to-back games against Palace and Leicester, our next two fixtures. Well, we won't, mate. We won't do it. I guarantee you that much. Salah's becoming a diver and it's embarrassing, said Abbas Yunus. Abbas, I was reading your comment a second ago and I was thinking about this one long and hard to think that how it could come back and eloquently describe how I'm feeling about your comment on the Salah situation. And I suppose the best thing I can do after thinking this through is to just tell you to go and fuck yourself. I don't know what else to say. If you think Salah's becoming a diver and it's embarrassing, then fuck off. I don't know what else to say. Honestly, I see a player that hasn't gone down many times when he's been kicked and got fuck all for it, and now I see a player who's actually clever and when he feels a kick is going down. If you think he's a diver, then that's your opinion, but I don't really give a fuck about your opinion if I'm being honest, pal. There you go, I'm honest. Mark is great, said LCFC Boya. And again, Abbas, not to be purposely disrespectful there, pal, but your comment is fairly nonsensical. I mean, I don't even know if you're a Liverpool fan or not a Liverpool fan. If you're a Liverpool fan, then I don't know what the fuck you're thinking about. If you're not a Liverpool fan, then your comment becomes a little bit more clear and I can understand it a little bit, but whatever. Honestly, buddy, you do you, and I'll keep trying to be a little bit more positive. I'd like to see Camacho playing at right back, or is it too early for him? Said Scotty. No, do you know what, mate? At home, always a bit more confident when we play youngsters at home. You got you've got the crowd behind him. You'd have Van Dijk there to talk him through the game as well. So, I think Rafa Camacho will be fine for this one. No doubt. Immediately, they'd be targeting him. Zaha would probably be pulling out wide and targeting him. Hard boiled egg for the win, mate. Thank you very much, Jay. Always a pleasure, pal. Gary said, I love Anfield Agenda. Like and subscribe ASAP. Look, guys, if you are watching and you do think, do you know what, this is alright actually, this isn't too bad, these people aren't bad, hit that subscribe button, drop a like on the stream and become part of the family here at Anfield Agenda. We're pretty honest talking, we don't take much shit on here, I just call it as I see it. People might not like that, people might like that. I am who I am, guys. Naby is already our best midfielder, more talent and quality, only a matter of match fitness to become a regular, said Malone02. Do I say 02 or 2? That's I always get when there's a 0 in front of somebody's name like that. It always throws me off because I know it's the number 2, but I don't know if you'd like to be called Malone02 or just Malone 2. Is it supposed to snow? The weather, Jack, is supposed to take a change in the UK and Ireland. We've been kind of spoiled. Temperatures have been about 4 or 5 degrees above average. But there is a colder air front. I feel like a fucking weatherman here. Cold front coming in that's supposed to bring some bad weather. Whether it snows or not, I'm not sure. I'd be worried if Trent can't make it for Bayern, said Gokul. It would depend for me. If Gomez is back, then I think we'd be sound, because you just put Gomez across there and you move Matip in to play centre back beside Van Dijk. Matip would be well used to playing against German style football. So if Gomez is back, then I'm pretty calm about it, to be fair. Salah is class. Get out of here with your garbage opinion. I thought I said onions or the Reverend. I thought I said Salah's garbage or Salah's great. Get out of here with your garbage onion. And I was thinking, onion? Has the Reverend lost his mind? But no, it's just me reading shit that isn't there again, pal. Should we sign Spurs player Son? It's never going to happen. I mean, there's no way on earth Daniel Levy sells Son to Liverpool. I mean, it just wouldn't make any sense whatsoever. The fans would be on his back. The manager would lose his fucking mind. They're strengthening a rival. It's just fantasy football stuff, my friend. It's not going to happen. Most of our games up to the end of February are at home. That's got to be an advantage, said Stephen Richards. And on top of that, Stephen, any of the big games that we have now outside of Manchester United are at home. Spurs, home. Chelsea, home. We had Manchester City at home. So thankfully we've got a lot of the hard away games out of the way in the first half of the season. What I was worried about with Spurs was that they also had more home games in the second half due to the fact that they asked for the first couple of games to be away from home while they were pretending that their new stadium was going to be ready. Thankfully they look like they've fallen away a little bit with the injury to Harry Kane, with Song Heung-min gone off to the Asia Games or the Asia Cup, I'm not sure what it's called. Then yeah, that weakens them a lot. Salah's a great player, said our friend Leicester City Football Club Boya. Look, we spoke about diving yesterday and we all do it. All our clubs do it. Let's be fair here. Every single one of our clubs do it at times. Go down softly. And there has been occasions, for all of our clubs as well, that players haven't gone down and the ref didn't give them what was a fairly clear decision. I can think of instances of it happening with Jamie Vardy at Leicester. I can certainly think of it happening with Mohamed Salah. I can't think of it happening with Harry Kane because that man goes down anytime there's a gust of wind, to be fair. But I remember it happening to United on a couple of occasions, and it seems like if you don't go down, or if you don't make a big deal of it, the ref just won't give it. Sometimes it's dependent on the referee. On the referee, actually, I should let you know, where's John Moss, I think it is. Is it John Moss? Yes, John Moss will referee the Reds game against Crystal Palace at the weekend. The last time John Moss took charge of a Reds game was the 3-0 win over Watford when he sent off Jordan Henderson. So 3-0 win, so that that was a good thing. Hendo going off, not so good. But look, John Moss in charge of the Reds game against Crystal Palace at Anfield on Saturday. Just in case anybody didn't know that one. I think that's one of the very first times I've ever actually come across who the referee is before I've come on here. Usually one of you amazing people let me know. Would Camacho come up against Zaha then? You'd imagine that, yeah. You'd imagine Zaha would pull wide and target him. Heme is in, how are you? I think Liverpool are capable of getting 100 points by the end of the season, said Long Skill 333. 333 in the third. Loads of people always ask you to say that when you're Irish. Say 33 in the third. 33 in the third. Yes, what's the monkey dance? Um, I don't know, mate. 100 points. I've been fairly optimistic, but yeah, pessimistic with regard to the amount of points that we're going to get. I think 96, 97 points will probably win us the league this year. If we break 100 points, that would be amazing, but I don't know. It's a big, big, big ask. After losing to Man City as well, I mean, what does that allow us to drop 2, 3 points, something like that, before the end of the season? Um, Ragnar said, please re-sign me on a 6-month loan deal so I can appear to back post in the last game against Wolves. It's alright, Clavan. We have Connor Cody, secret agent Connor Cody, so he'll sort that one out for us on the last day of the season. Am I not playing for Liverpool anymore? Oh, was I not supposed to bang one in the cop end? Whoopsies. Uh-oh. And as I said yesterday, actually, on that one, just for anyone who missed it, if Liverpool go on and win the Premier League title this season, then Nathaniel Klein, who we spoke about earlier on, will be 1 game short of the amount needed to get a league winners medal. He's got 4 appearances for Liverpool this season. 5 is the magic number to get a medal. Kane injury makes up for them 9 hungry Belgian Blues outside. Kane injured makes up for them 9 hungry Belgian Blues outside. Sorry, Luke. I ruined your comment, mate. I apologise. I promise I'll give your next one more gusto, mate, and get it right, because that was my bad. Can't say about Divo when we have Madison. The English players, mate, do you remember this now? It used to be that the foreigners were all targeted as divers, and it used to be, all these foreign players coming over going down too soft. Now we're talking about Harry Kane, Madison. Look, and I'm, there's plenty more, but there's a lot more English players who become more proficient in it. Harry Kane, Madison, Dele Alli, Sterling. He likes to kick the ground and jump on down and get a penalty as well. Stevie G wasn't adverse to it as well during his time at Liverpool. I still swear to this day that one in the Champions League final was really suspect. Really fucking suspect. I've never really had much of a conversation with people about that, but look, that's for another day. We'll scum back around. Scum? Don't even know what scum means. Spin is what I'm doing, the spin motion, but I'm saying scum. Don't know why. Craig, I proper love the background, mate. It's nice to put a fake league title up there next season. Yeah, if we won it, I would like to have a little shelf somewhere behind me with the Premier League trophy on the shelf. I don't know how I'd get away with that for copyright, but maybe I'd have to change it just enough so I don't get screwed. But yeah, it would be nice, wouldn't it? It'd be really nice. I've got so many things I want to do with the images behind me and stuff. But as I said, I'm a lone wolf at the minute. Connor is away in Liverpool. Recuperating after some busy exam period over Christmas and stuff. He's over in Liverpool with his mate at the minute, kicking back, relaxing, and doing what he should be doing as a young man. We should sign Tarkowski for 50 million. He's not worth 50 million in my humble. Oh, you probably feel like I'm having a real go at you, pal, don't you? And I'm not over this one, I promise you. We spoke about Tarkowski recently, and as much as I've been honest and said he hasn't impressed me when I've seen him, I definitely haven't seen enough of Tarkowski to write him off as a footballer. But 50 million, I mean, I think 50 million could probably buy us a better defender than Tarkowski. Is Van Dijk not out against Munich? He is, Jack. I forgot he was banned for the first leg, mate. You're right. So yes, then what have we got? Maybe drop Fabinho back in, I suppose, to play alongside Matip. But yeah, I keep forgetting about that one. Well, they were pretending that the new stadium will be ready. Love it. Yeah. Do you remember? Oh yeah, no, Liverpool. Yeah, they're going to be the first ones at the new stadium. Oh yeah, definitely. No, I'll be ready. Definitely. Oh no, I won't be ready till after Christmas. No, did we say Christmas? We went March. Definitely March though. But look, lads, seeing as we're in March, why don't we just say that it won't be ready till next season, and we'll go from there? How about that? Oh God, the state of it, the absolute state of that. Hello, Mr. Wellwide. How long will it take you to grow some hair? Probably not very long at all, mate, considering I have to shave my head every single day. I would say not very long. I'd say if this mohawk has to come out, it won't take longer than a few weeks. Oh, for fuck's sake, why Moss? Said Will. I don't know, I guess it's a rotation thing, buddy. Here's some mad news. Moreno, for fuck's sake, is linked to Barcelona and Real Madrid. If that doesn't tell you one of two things, maybe his agent is an absolute Looney Tunes, or they're getting fucking desperate for players at this point. They've got no money and they look at Moreno as a possible option. Jordi Alba was linked with a move away from Barcelona as well at 29. Yeah, which is strange. Glory, glory, Man United, said Brad Skelcher. Glory, glory, Man United. Look, mate, you must be absolutely flying at the minute, the way things are going for United. I wish I could say I'm delighted for you, but you know I'd be lying. But it's just impressive to see the turnaround. So you're in with a chance now for the top four. Spurs dropping points. You know, it could be three teams for that two spots. It'll be interesting to see how it works out. Imagine if Spurs fell out of the top four. Fucking hell. Heads would fall off, wouldn't it? That Hendo red was fair on the day. Still, Moss is shit, said Cahill. I wish our players would run more in the box, only take a touch when we're full tilt. I wish our players would run more in the box. Yes, I get where you're coming from, Steady Woodward. I don't know, we're quite good at drawing fouls, I think, as well. Sometimes I look at Raheem Sterling when he's running into the box, or Sane as well for City, and I just think defenders must be fucking petrified to try and tackle them. But then you've got the calmest personified like Virgil van Dijk that just steps across, puts a foot in and goes, get the fuck out of here, this is my ball. I've got some stats and stuff actually on Virgil van Dijk for you a little bit later on. Of course, they're not my statistics. I borrowed them from the Echo. The Echo with another good article today on that, so I'll get to that a little bit later on. And of course, we've got transfer news coming up in the next few minutes as well. Zaha's a great player, said Jack Irwin. He's very good indeed, pal. He is. Better than Kevin, I'm biased, friend. I fucking hate Kevin Friend. I really don't like Kevin Friend. The only one that I actually think isn't too bad is what's that guy's name? Oh fuck, he still looks like he's really, really young. What is his fucking name? It'll come to me in a minute. Black haired oh god, it'll come to me in a second. Matic or Lovren, for which, mate, if we're talking who's better, I'd still side with Lovren amazingly over those two. I know people are going, nope. I just think Lovren's a better partner for Van Dijk, in my opinion. Although Gomez is, better than both of them. Who was this referee I'm trying to think of, for God's sake? Not Andre Mariner, not Kevin Friend, not John Moss. The other one, the youngish looking dude. I know somebody's put this in. Michael Oliver, that's the man. There you go. Thank you very much. Michael Oliver, yeah, he's not a bad referee in fairness. If I had to pick a referee for a big Liverpool game in the Premier League, I'd have Michael Oliver reffing it. Without Van Dijk, the defence is weak. Of course. That's stating the bleeding obvious, pal, isn't it? I mean, without probably the best defender in the world. I wouldn't say it's weak. It's weakened. You still have Andy Robertson there. You're still going to have Lovren, Matip or Fabinho. Probably have Trent back at that point as well. The Echo is a mank rag now. Printed Manchester, don't represent us properly. Look, I understand that, Ebony Smith, but at the same time, I'm not, I try to be fair. If there's an article in there that I think is good, I'm going to call it out. If we're talking about the Manchester Evening News now, that's a whole another fucking conversation to have. Look, I don't even want to get into that. I think the Anfield Wrap have covered that quite well on social media at points. But look, I have to say, I like James Pearce. I'm not going to lie about it. He's a very nice man. And I don't think he's a spoofer or a waffler, and I don't think he's a mouthpiece for FSG or anything like that. But that's just my opinion on the man. Everyone to their own. Dougie Madley. Oh, both the Madleys. There was two of them fuckers, wasn't there? Bobby Madley and his not so good cousin or something like that, wasn't it? It was his cousin, his brother, his nephew, I don't know. Two of them, both useless. Moreno linked to Barca, I say to them, £1 and we'd still get 100 million from them. There you go. I think the fact that he's only got 6 months left, they might be talking for the end of the season, getting him on a free. Michael Oliver, that's definitely him. Leaving Didi alone. At this rate, I'd not be surprised to see Louis Longstaff at the end of the match in our midfield, for fuck's sake. Chuck Norris will be on a mission for the rest of the season. Chuck Norris will be on a mission for the rest of the season. That's a strange comment. Right, guys, look, I said I've got a few things to talk about. Transfers. Let's get straight into transfers, because I know that's why a lot of you are clicked on. Like myself, I'm a transfer hound. Before I do transfers though, if anyone's watching, you haven't yet subscribed, please take a minute to hit that button and drop a like on the stream. Look, we're heading towards 73, 75. We like to go on 25 and 50, so if you're watching, please do hit that button, help us grow the channel. Transfers, right, we'll talk about the big one, the one that is in the headline of tonight's stream, and we've spoken about him before, but it has come up yet again. Actually, I think somebody mentioned him last night, and that is James Rodriguez. Now, bear with me on this one. He's reportedly decided that, or excuse me, Rodriguez has reportedly decided to agree a transfer to Liverpool over Arsenal, and the figure being mentioned today is £62 million. Now, that comes from Don Ballon, so, nah. But it's not the only news article or news media source that has linked us to James Rodriguez. Now, I've said to you a couple of times that it looks like Bayern Munich aren't going to take up their option to buy after the 2-year loan deal. 62 million seems a bit much for me. I know you look at him and say, yeah, can be a world-class player on his day, but he hasn't really done too well at Bayern Munich, has he? He's one of those players that's a little bit hit and miss, a little bit injury-prone as well. When I seen that Arsenal were in for him, I thought, that seems a little bit fucking strange now, because have they got 62 million to be thrown around on 27-year-olds, which I believe he is 27, if memory serves correct. I don't know about this one, guys. I really don't know. I think there'll be a much safer bet somewhere in world football for £62 million than James Rodriguez. Yeah, he's a good player. I just don't know. I've really been on the fence about this one ever since he was first linked to us. I think we could do better for £62 million if I'm being honest. He was Bayern Munich's best player last season. Okay. Then why don't they want him, mate? If he was so brilliant for Bayern Munich, why don't they want him? Why don't they want him at probably a knockdown price as well? There you go. I mean, answer me that. If you wouldn't mind, buddy. Honestly, you've clearly seen more of the guy than I have. But if he's so amazing for them, why don't they want them? That's what bugs me. Sometimes I think there's stuff going on inside clubs that maybe we as fans or outsiders don't get to see. And I think Alex Ferguson was always really good at moving on the player when he knew his time was up, or when he knew that the best of him was behind him. Maybe we got that spot on with Fernando Torres at the time as well. There's just something worries me about that. If as you've said, and you've clearly watched them, he was Bayern Munich's best player, then what the fuck is up this season? Why have they no interest in making that a permanent deal? The Revenite said 40 million at most, I'd say. Isco said Liverpool legend. Yes, look, I would happily throw down 65 or 70 million for Isco. 100%. Much better signing for me. Much safer piece of business as well. Even 80 million. I don't know how much Isco would cost, but I'd rather throw another 20 million on top of the cost of James Rodriguez to get somebody like Isco in. That would make infinitely more sense to me. LFC _5 said James Rodriguez is so injury prone. He's always out, but he's a brilliant player when fit, and that's a rare occurrence. You could say the same about Salah at Chelsea to a lesser degree. Roma bought him. He was a bit hit and miss as well. Oh no, to be fair, John, at Roma he was far from hit and miss. He was setting up goals for Dzeko left, right and centre, and he was scoring some absolute belters as well. Took him a bit of time at Fiorentina, but well, not a bit of time. He settled okay at Fiorentina, but he really came into his own at Roma. He made Dzeko look good. Again though, I love the way we all see things a little bit differently, and that's why I enjoy coming on here and interacting with you all, because if I see something, maybe you guys see it a little bit different, and bit of back and forth, and we can all learn a little bit of something. Usually what we learn is Craig is absolutely wrong, but you know what, that's okay. We need a creative midfielder like De Bruyne. Oh mate, we can but dream, to be fair. I mean, I've often thought back about what Kevin De Bruyne could do in a Liverpool team. I have to say, I've always looked at him and gone, oh, you would have been fucking perfect for us. He would have been idolised as well. I'm sure he's been idolised at City by the 20 or 30 people inside the stadium, but I mean, he could have been really idolised. James has attitude problems, and I'm his biggest fan, said Alpha G. We need to get Crouchy back for the rest of the season. Oh, just for the robot, if nothing else. God bless that man. Love Peter Crouch. Seen him been interviewed before, and they said, Peter, what would you be if you weren't a footballer? And looked him dead in the eye and said, a virgin. And I just thought, you absolute fucking legend. Love Peter Crouch. Gabriel is in. How are you, sir? He was caught shagging the manager's daughter. I'm not going into how he was shagging, Paul. I'll leave that up to your comment there, pal. I'd have Coutinho back, somebody said there. I wouldn't, Paul, personally, but from a footballing sense, I could understand why anybody would want him back. I'm just a bitter, miserable fucker, so I wouldn't want him back. Liam said, I agree, mate. I take Rodriguez that smashed him in the World Cup before he went to Madrid, but since then he's blown hot and cold for a while. I was hoping that Barcelona gent would comment again on, maybe he hasn't, I've missed it, on James Rodriguez's form this year. Trent for central attacking mid, said Mohamed. Not seeing it happening, pal. The reason I think I've said this to you guys before, and bear with me if you've heard this one, but I think Trent is a possible world class right back, but a very good attacking midfielder, a central midfielder. I don't think he would reach the levels that he would at right back. But whatever happens, I want Trent at the club wherever he's playing. Tyrone said James can feck off, not needed. But Isco on the other hand, tidy player, a lot like David Silva a few years ago. Another one who I'd have loved at Liverpool. To be fair, David Silva. I think we were close to getting him at one point as well. Isco would be brilliant. That would be my Fekir alternative. And what an alternative that would be. Angus, how are you, sir? Great to have you in as always. You know Kevin De Bruyne is a red. Yeah, I've seen the picture of him when he was it a donkey or a horse or something when he was a kid with his Liverpool shirt on. He looked good in red as well, didn't he? I went to the Roma game in his second last season, 1-4-1 against Torino. He scored 2 and set up Nangolan. Yeah, look, I watched a lot of them actually. I was watching a good bit of Italian football at that point, and he was setting up Dzeko left, right, and centre. And obviously, our lads looked at that, and the manager seen something in him that he thought that he could get more goals out of him, as well as the assists. And look what happened when he came over. Casemiro, said Tyler Bowen. Somebody else has mentioned Casemiro. I really despise Real Madrid, Tyler. So I tend to watch them as little as possible because would have been a Barca supporter growing up, and I have a real dislike for Real Madrid and everything that the club stands for. I feel that regardless of an injury crisis, Klopp would refuse to buy anybody. I don't think anyone's getting bought in January. I really don't. I'm just reading that one out because it was on a few sites today, and we haven't had a bit of transfer news for a few days. So, Craig, your stream's the only thing getting me through my exam stress. So cheers, mate. Look, I know how stressful exams can be. So what a little tiny piece of advice, if I can give it to you, is to get a good balance. Get a good balance of studying, a good balance of rest, a little bit of fun thrown in, and just make sure not to try and do too much because you can only take on or process, your brain can only process so much at any one time. So just make sure you get plenty of rest, plenty of water, and best of luck with your exams. I hope you knock it out of the park, Tulsi. Right guys, some more transfer news. Oh, I do love a bit of transfer news. Somebody mentioned this guy yesterday, and I swear to God I thought they were just saying it to me because they like hearing me pronounce footballers' names arseways. But this guy is Arnout Grunfeld from Bruges. Somebody definitely mentioned him to me yesterday, and I want to give credit to who it was, but I can't remember. But it did make me go and have a look up about this guy. He's a 21-year-old Dutch international winger. AC Milan have already had a £9 million bid rejected for him, and Spurs and Everton are also said to be looking at him. So, ticks the box for what we need, to be fair. Doing pretty well at Bruges by the looks of things. Again, I'm not even going to pretend to know anything about him. I just did a small bit of research today to try and get a bit of background information for you. 9 million turned down by AC Milan for the player, so must be being looked at by a host of clubs. And you know what, I always get excited when I see Liverpool linked with good emerging young talent like that. I'd love to know your thoughts on it. I'm sure there are people there that have seen this kid playing, or at least have seen YouTube clips of him, because his name's been linked now for a couple of days. So again, love your opinion on that one. I have a couple of more little transfer bits that I'll go through, but I just want to get through your comments beforehand. I miss the Figo Serie A days. As a kid I used to love Inter Milan. I would be even further back than that one, buddy. I was started at around Maradona's time at Napoli. That's where I was watching it, like the AC Milan glory days. Those beautiful Fiorentina kids with Nintendo and stuff on them. Yeah, the good old days when Italian football was the league in the world, actually. Seeing James Richardson sitting in the little cafe with his little espresso and his pink newspaper. I mean, Football Italia every Saturday morning on Channel 4. Oh, absolutely. Just memories of my childhood. I prefer his Colombian centre mid partner. I can't remember his name. The small little lad. He went somewhere actually, Skipper Dog, if memory serves me correct. I can't think of his name either, but I do know who you're talking about, and I'm fairly sure he moved after the World Cup. Just gone through the superstar, Shelley. It was James Rodriguez, mate. Linked to a £62 million move. Arsenal apparently looking at the guy as well. Bayern Munich not interested in making his 2 year loan move a permanent thing. And a couple of papers over the last few days have linked us to him. The latest one is Don Ballon, which I believe is a Spanish media outlet. Craig, what are some tips you could give me for college? Jesus, I don't really want to be giving people life lessons, mate. I don't feel I'm qualified. Just, if I'm being honest, pal, it depends what you want out of life. Sometimes I look at my daughter and she's heading towards that neck of the woods now. She's doing exams this year and then a couple more years and she's out of school. You either chase the money or you chase something you're passionate about. That would be my advice. Don't split it. Don't do something that you think your parents want you to do. Do something that you either really want to do or do something that you know will make you a shit ton of cash. That would honestly be my advice, buddy. And enjoy it because they're the best years of your life. You think we'll sign anybody? So Paul Greaves, because we're going to end up with Sturridge. No, Paul, mate, unfortunately I don't think we're going to bring in anybody in this window, but I think that's okay. I think we're just going through a bit of an injury crisis. I went through the list earlier on. We've got Trent out now, Genie doubtful for the weekend, Gomez out, Lallana out, Lovren out, Oxlade-Chamberlain out, Brewster out. But they're all short enough term injuries, bar obviously Brewster and Chamberlain. You're 11, loads of time, Kirby, mate, loads of time. No need to be worrying about college yet. You just worry about having fun, pal, and enjoying life. Did you hear Jurgen said he wanted to sign Mane when he was at Dortmund? Yes, I did. He said it was one of his biggest mistakes as a manager, or his biggest regrets as a manager. And I thought about him saying that, Mohammed, and then I thought, well, hang on, if he had have signed him at Dortmund, we probably wouldn't have him now. So worked out well for us. Maybe not so well for Klopp at the time. And I think vice versa. I think Mane has come out and said how much he loves Jurgen Klopp and how much he loves being at Liverpool and stuff as well, which is it's always lovely to hear. Think we'll beat Palace, said Anto Cavanagh. Yes, mate. I think we'll beat them fairly easily if I'm being frank. 3-0. I've seen a lot of 3-0 and 3-1s lately. Excuse me. Yeah, I think 3-0. I'm very confident going into this weekend. I'm always really confident when we're at home. Our record at home over the last 18 months, 2 years has been magnificent. Do something you like, don't worry about the money, said Skipper Dog. Each to their own, buddy. I'm at that point now. You said yourself, mate, that you went back and you're re-educating, I think, at the minute, or maybe you've done it recently. And I'm getting towards that point as well. I never got to go to college because I was looking after a dying father, so never got to go to college at the time. And now, you know, I'm at the point in my life where I could look at that as an option, and I'm having that very same thought in my head. Would I chase money or would I do something that I like? It's actually much tougher for me to figure out than you think. I was supposed to do psychology and French, would you believe? Not in French, but and French. When I left school, that's what my exams got me in to do, but never got a chance to go. But you know what? I'm 37. In this day and age, that's still young. I've still got a chance. We'd concede 5 goals if we had Van Dijk and Koulibaly. Look, Koulibaly ain't happening, unfortunately, mate. I'd love to be able to say it might, but it isn't. It isn't going to happen. Stephen, mate, good night, and pass on my best to Louise as well. I hope you're feeling better, pal. I know you're a bit under the weather lately, but thankfully you've got a good lady looking after you there, so make sure you take care of yourself. Rod, how are we, my friend? Here's the strategy. Coutinho to China, right? I'm on board so far. Hammers into the bargain bin. You can do that one. Kane dives permanently into the deep blue sea, and Werner to Liverpool with a sack full of Brezels. I'm in, Rod. Sign me up. Definitely, I'll take that one. Rod is one of the best in his position. I was thinking about the Rod underneath you there, Oliver. I was thinking, oh, hang on, does he know Rod? He's one of the best in his position, but will not be joining this squad, I think you meant to say, Oliver. Do you think we'll play Fabinho at left back? No, not left back. Possibly right back, but I think James Milner. If I could have a quick guess, if you want me to have a quick guess at the team at the weekend, Alisson, Milner, Van Dijk, Matip, Robertson, Fabinho, Henderson, Keita and the front three. Um, you might see Shaqiri in there instead of Keita, but I'm going to keep saying Keita every week until he gets a chance. Shaqiri was very disappointing for me in the last game as well. Crisis? What crisis? No crisis, Anthony. Just need that headline, pal. I know there is. In fairness, there is. I went through a list of players that were out there, but thankfully a lot of them are short-term injuries. You ain't gonna win the league, said Sil HD. Yes, we fucking are, pal. Yes, we motherfucking are. And I'm gonna enjoy gloating about it as well, buddy. Who's going to fill in for Trent? I would say, is it Trinian? Trinian. I'm going to go with that as a pronunciation. I would say James Milner, buddy, but that's just a guess. Skipper Dog said he's all changed. There you go. There you go. It's beautiful, mate. I love the fact that I had a counsellor once, a few months back, Skipper Dog, who she was a nurse and she went back and re-educated at 60 to become a counsellor. And I just thought, you know what, that is unbelievable. So fair play to her. She really motivated me to reconsider. I think Fabinho is going to be the player that makes the difference in the second half of the season. He looks now like the player we thought he was going to be. Neil, I agree 1000%, even though that's not possible. Yes, I need to stop saying fucking tonight. I'm saying it too much. He will. He'll be a massive input for the second half of the season. I cannot wait to see him keep progressing. And I just hope he gets more time in the six now because, he's centre back and he's being kind of pushed around a little bit. Yeah, some more time in centre mid would do me just nicely in that number 6. Maybe allow Henderson to get a little bit further forward. Anfield is just a love fest. Training photos prove that today. However, Naby looking a bit intense. He needs to put one in to put him at ease. I can't wait till he settles. I know I say it every week and you guys are probably sick of it, but there's some player in there. There really is. Tom Jones said De Ligt and Virgil van Dijk would be the greatest centre-back duo the Premier League would ever witness. It would be tasty, wouldn't it? And then having Joe Gomez there as well. I mean, if that wouldn't push you towards playing 3 at the back, I don't know what would. What we talking about tonight, said Brian. A lot of stuff. A bit of transfer news actually for once, Brian, which is unusual. We haven't had that in a while. Late to the show, who's the superstar we're linked to? James Rodriguez, Christopher. Although you may have caught up with that. I'm trying to catch up through the comments, so I might be a little bit behind. Everybody has a day off, said Joanne. I don't. When do I get a day off? I never have a day off. I'm not allowed to have a day off. My brain won't let me have a day off. Everybody else will. Everybody else keeps suggesting for me to have a day off, but my brain goes, dickhead, don't you even think about having a day off. Who do you think you were? Hoover, I wouldn't put him in unless we're leading and the game's already wrapped up. Kiana Hoover for this one. I don't know. It's an option. I think we've more realistic options with Fabinho there, Milner, Matip. I'd have him on the bench. I think I'd definitely have him on the bench. I said that Koulibaly wouldn't sign for LFC and seems a bit of an unrealistic target. Yeah, he's not signing, to be fair. But he is a class player, no doubts there whatsoever. Klopp blocked Camacho loan just for these type of games, said Tom, which is true. Sporting Lisbon wanted to take him, and Klopp said nope, not when Nathaniel Klein's already gone out on loan. Would you take Suarez, Coutinho and 100 million for Salah off Barca? Oh Jesus, that's a tough question, Lee. Fucking hell. Yes, I would. If I'm being honest, I would. I would, yeah. 100 million, Coutinho and Suarez. As much as I don't want Coutinho back, I mean, if that was thrown down on the fucking table, yeah, I probably would, mate. I'd love to know what everybody else thinks of that one, though. It's a really, really tricky question because my gut instinct is always to say, fuck off, nobody's having Salah, nobody. But you're talking about what? If we're valuing Coutinho, what we sold him for, you're talking about probably over 300 million quid's worth of footballer there with regards to money and players. That's a lot of wage. Ella said, and again, if anybody else has a comment on that, please do answer it. Craig, what would be your preferred 11 if everyone was fit? I think, again, you probably put this in, Ella, just before I answered. Hers would be Alisson, Trent, Gomez, Van Dijk, Robbo, Gini, Fabinho, Keita, Mane, Firmino, Salah. I think Gini might be out for this one. He's borderline, but I think you'll probably see him rested. I was watching a compilation of Cada for us so far. He's clearly so talented, said Callum. Yeah, you can see little flashes, can't you, Callum? When he plays, he has those little spells where he turns a player, or he breaks a line and runs past two or three, makes it dart towards the box, and you can see what he's all about. It's just a matter of him getting the confidence and the consistency in his game. Brian Morrissey said, I went back at 33 to do international development in UCC, University College Cork. Couldn't finish it because of money, but it was an incredible experience. Do you mind me asking a really silly question, Brian? What is international development, mate? I've honestly never heard of it before. And actually, in Cork, did you see Cork City's new third kit that's coming out this year, Brian? Oh my God. If you're a fan of football kits, you're a fan of Adidas, the Cork City third kit that's supposed to be coming out this season is absolutely amazing. One of the nicest football shirts I've ever seen. Would you take Coutinho back to Liverpool? Ideally, no, Eric. But other than that offer that Lee put to me a few minutes ago, normally, no, I don't want him back. Should we sign Peter Crouch as a backup keeper? Be a bit unfair to everybody else. He's just too big. See, Petr Cech is retiring at the end of the season as well. And look, he might have had his best couple of years recently, but none of us can doubt what a quality goalkeeper Petr Cech was in the Premier League. Certainly one of the finest of the Premier League era, so congratulations to him on a fantastic career. He wasn't a Liverpool player, he was a Chelsea player and an Arsenal player, but you know what? You've got to recognise quality and respect it. And Petr Cech, one of the best goalkeepers of our generation, probably. Took a lot for him to come back after the school break as well. So congratulations to him on a wonderful career. I hope he goes out with a few good games under his belt as well. Nothing but respect for that man, honestly. Even though he played for Chelsea, nothing but respect for him. Charlie said, evening Craig, sorry I'm a bit late. Did you hear about James Rodriguez to Liverpool? Yeah, we spoke about it, mate, at the start. That was the whole superstar link to the Reds thing that you've seen in the headline, buddy. I'd rather donate the 100 million to charity than have Coutinho back, said Alpha G. I don't know, I'm trying to think about 100 million in my own pocket, mate, as well. I'm so glad we've got Fabinho, better than Emre Can, said the Serpent line. That much I would say is nailed on. Absolutely. And I liked Emre Can actually, but Fabinho is absolutely quality. In the six, he's going to be one of the best. When he fully settles in, I think he's going to be one of the best in Europe in that position. Did anybody see Paris Saint-Germain linked to Gay from Everton, which I just can't get my head around? Good footballer. I mean, yeah, he's a good footballer, but at that level, really? Like PSG, who can get nearly anybody going in for him? Very strange move for me, and he is a good footballer. Maybe if Lenny is in, our friend Lenny, the Everton fan, maybe he could give us a comment on this one. I heard a rumour of Coutinho to United. Yes, I've seen that one as well. Doesn't look like it's going to happen in this window. Doesn't look like he's going to go anywhere in January, if the truth be told, from what I've read today. You never know down the line. I just hope it doesn't happen. Juan S. de Boer said Blakely McCown. We talked about him yesterday. 22 million, something like that, 22, 26 million. 20 goals this season so far for Salzburg at 26 years of age, I think. Let's wait and see what happens there. I think he's hanging on, hoping that Liverpool come in to try and get him. Fabinho was a dark horse, said Joanne. Kirby's substitutes against Palace: Hoover, Jones, Camacho, Sturridge, Origi, Shaqiri, Milner. I think Milner will be at right back, personally. When's Oxlade-Chamberlain back? David Walker wants to know. I think we're probably going to be talking the end of February, the start of March, David. Rod's predicting Coutinho will end up at PSG, and you know what, mate, that could be a shout. They were in for him before he went to Barcelona, and at the time he said the only club he would move to leave Liverpool was Barcelona. But now, if it isn't working out from there, you never know, it could be a good shout. Stay strong, Craig, and say no to bringing Coutinho and Suarez back plus 100 million for Mo. The Cork kid is sweet, said Brian. Oh, Brian, it's absolutely gorgeous. I have a photo of it. I don't know if it'll go up on the camera well. I'm going to try and hold it up there. Maybe you guys can see it. It's not going to go through very well, is it? No, it's not going through. There. Maybe you can see it there. So it's kind of like the old Germany kit, the Germany Italia 90 kit. Oh, it's absolutely stunning. It's absolutely stunning. I hope they bring it out, because I'll be all over that if they bring it out. I think Genie's my best player all season. That's a blow. He's not playing the weekend. He's just doubtful, Anto. Although when someone's doubtful like that, after playing as many games as he has, I'd say Klopp will probably err on the side of caution. This would give him, a nice break. Phil will end up at PSG. Won't end up at PSG. Will end up at PSG. Hang on, I'm confused here. Phil will end up at PSG. Can't afford him without, I don't know, UEFA and FIFA into their finances over fair play rules. I think what will happen, John, is that they will sell Neymar. There's been a lot of links that Barcelona are trying to pave the way, as I think maybe Neymar is, of bringing him back. Would be very, very odd. He'd been linked to Madrid a lot as well, but if they moved him on, then that would certainly appease UEFA. Yeah, so let's wait and see. Would you rather take 50 million in a cheque or play for Liverpool on 30,000 a year wage? It depends what age I was, Alpha G as well, but I would say if I could do 5 years, then I would sacrifice. I mean, what's that? 30 is 1.5 million a year, 5 years, 7.5 million. I would take the 7.5 million and the memories of playing for Liverpool for 5 years over a 50 million quid check, if I'm being honest. And there's very few things in life that I would turn down money for, but that would be one of them. How the hell does Martin O'Neill keep getting management jobs? I was thinking that myself earlier on, Anthony. I mean, if I'm a Nottingham Forest fan now, I'm looking at that and going, well, this is going to be a dull fucking season, isn't it? We're gonna play quite defensively. We're gonna try and keep it tight. Not gonna be expecting many attacking performances. But there's history there between both of them, and of course, if Roy Keane goes with them, a lot of history there as well. Guys, we are 15 away from our next little target, so if you're watching, you haven't hit the subscribe button yet, please do so. As I say to everybody all the time, if you're wondering why we keep asking you to subscribe or what you get on here when you do subscribe, match watch-alongs of every Liverpool game completely free, nightly live streams like this one every single night around 10:15, little transfer videos every now and again, a few other little bits and pieces that we're working on, but most importantly, as we've said, it's free, and it always will be free. We're never going to charge for content. Even if we were to get 1 million subs, which will never happen, but we'll never charge for content on here. YouTube always be free. Maybe on Patreon down the line in a few years' time we could have additional content, but that would be something that wouldn't be on YouTube anyway. So people said Fabinho would come in and play a stopper, but actually he's shown a bit more as a playmaker. What I've loved about him, Charlie, is, as you've said, that step into the opposition half, to a little dart to try and bring somebody onto him to open up a little bit of space for a pass. Very intelligent footballer, and his reading of the game has been fantastic. Is Lallana fit or injured? He's injured, David, at the minute, and I know that's not the answer you wanted to hear, but he is unfortunately fit. Not fit. Definitely not fit. Relax, Craig, he's not fit. A few other bits and pieces as well on the transfer front that I said I'd one or two more things. Where is it, Craig? Get your list up there, come on, get your finger out. Connor Cody. A lot of people were talking about him over the past few days. He's been linked with Liverpool, he's been linked with Arsenal. It's absolute garbage, to be fair, with regards to him coming to Liverpool. It looks like he's going to sign a new improved deal at Wolves. And Nuno came out and rubbished any thoughts of him moving on. I mean, he's the captain of the club there. He's rebuilt his career back down at Wolves. He's loved there by the fans. The Liverpool links are probably just lazy journalism. Arsenal have been linked with him as well, and there is, I suppose, some sense to that because they need defensive reinforcements. I'm glad he's going to sign a new contract at Wolves and stay there. It's great for him. I'm so happy for the kid to drop down through the divisions like that and build himself back up, come back and lead Wolves into the Premier League. So an improved contract for Connor Cody by the looks of things at Wolves, knocking the bit any rumours of him going to Liverpool or Arsenal. I got some cherry chav, says Lee. Freak. Cherry. Oh, my daughter tried to pawn that shit on me before, mate. No cherry. Just stick to the good old stuff, the good reliable stuff. Cherry free, Lee. Cherry free. Coutinho would complete our attack and move us to another level. To be fair, we had him here, Eddie. The attack was pretty much the same. I don't know, mate. I understand why people would want them back, and as I said, as much as I'm sitting here going fuck Coutinho, If he came back and stuck in top bins, I would be running around my sitting room saying how much I loved him because I'm a hypocrite. I'm a football fan. Whatever Klopp wants is good with me. Brian Morrissey said Barca's plan for Coutinho was to replace Iniesta in the midfield three, but he can't play there now, so he's in behind Dembele for a spot in the three. He's finished there. Huge mistake by everybody except Liverpool. It depends, I suppose, what happens with the manager as well, if the manager stays there. Kev has put the link into the Anfield Agenda Instagram account, so if anybody wants to give that a follow, really straightforward, it's just Anfield Agenda on Instagram. If you're on there, check it out. Kev runs the account magnificently. I don't thank you enough, Kev, mate, but honestly, thank you so much. And Jersey Boy is now taking over the Anfield Agenda Twitter account along with Charlie, so we'll probably need one more person for that one in the long run, but again, check that one out. Anfield Agenda now have the big account. I have surrendered my account to Anfield Agenda, so they now have a 28,000 follower account, which looks fucking class. So get on there and support the guys on there as well. But as I said, Kev, mate, thank you so much for all your hard work growing the account. It's very much appreciated by Connor and myself, and we probably don't say it enough, pal. That Coutinho deal has paid for Van Dijk and Alisson, which has made the team much more balanced, said Jack Coleman. Fantastic comment, Jack. The money's been reinvested magnificently, hasn't it? I think we've certainly improved from that money. Charlie Crampsey said, in the summer, sell Lallana, get that young Turkish kid, get a quality striker if we don't get one now, or a quality number 10. We'll leave it to Klopp, the real football genius. Yeah, that's the whole thing about that Turkish kid, isn't it? It is, the talk has always been of him being a possible Lallana replacement. That's gone quiet though over the past couple of weeks. Rod said, I'd go to PSG, but only for the croissants and the Café au lait. Is that how it says? Café au lait? Look, Rod, I'm not reading the mademoiselles and the money. You're fucking killing me here, Rod, with the French pronunciations. For the croissants and the Café au lait and the mademoiselles. There you go. So Rod basically wants to drink coffee, wolf down pastries, and lash a few women. Nothing wrong with it, Rod. We all want that in life. Hope Firmino and Alisson do brilliantly for Brazil in the Copa America. Them having a good competition, winning will give them so much confidence coming into next season. I just hope that the manager of Brazil finally realises that Firmino is better than fucking Jesus and starts playing him, because he deserves it. Jersey Boy said, follow Anfield Agenda on Twitter. He's working hard on there, as I said. And I actually said that, mate, before I seen that you'd put the post in. So, yeah, keep doing some great work. We need more people. Anfield Agenda, as we said, it's a community project. It's not just about me or Connor or me coming on here and doing these videos. We're trying to make this a place for Liverpool fans from around the world. Whether you're in America, whether you're in England, Ireland, wherever it is. This is a community thing. We want everyone to come together and help us push this on, help us grow this. This isn't about us making money, because that's the furthest thing from our fucking minds. This is just about meeting Reds, getting to talk to Reds, growing this. How amazing would it be if we could become not the overseas one-stop shop for Liverpool fans, but there's people like the Anfield Rap and Redmen TV, and they do the local stuff so well, because, you know, that's their beat, that's where they are. They get to go to all the games, and they do it magnificently well. Some great content. I'm forever singing both their praises, and rightly so, because they work their asses off and make good stuff. But how great would it be if we could be the others, shall we say, not the disenfranchised Liverpool fans, but the people who don't get to go to as many games as we'd like to, or the people who live over the other side of the world, and maybe it's once or twice in a lifetime stuff for them. I'd love this to be that community for everybody to be able to come in and not be judged about not being able to go to games, or not be judged about how long they've been supporting the club or their knowledge about the players. Just for people to come in, feel safe, talk about the club that they love. We can educate each other along the way, have a little bit of fun, and just do things differently. Do it our way and turn this into what we want it to be as a group. And look, if we're all driving Lambos at the end of it, then, you know, that's not the end of the world. I'm sorry, I should say another Lambo. Sorry, I forgot me and Connor are YouTube billionaires at this point, according to some. I wish you'd tell that to my 2011 Renault Megane though. That's in the driveway. The Brazil team manager said he should have played Firmino in the World Cup, made a mistake. I still think that was to pacify Neymar, if I'm being honest. You still on Twitter, Craig? No, Liam, I'm not on Twitter at all, buddy. My account is I've swapped the two accounts over, so I gave Anfield Agenda my account and I took the other one, but I'm not going to use the account at all. I'm finished with Twitter. So it's just going to be Anfield Agenda on there, and I have said that this is the only social media I'm going to be on. So, ta-da! We can get the lad from Bruges for £12 million. Absolute steal. He has Sané potential. Yeah, 12 million does seem a very good piece of business for somebody with such potential as he seems to have. As I said earlier on, Milan had a £9 million bid rejected for the kid, so it'll be interesting to see if we do go in and 12 million. That's even less than we paid for Shaqiri. Right, one more piece of transfer news, and this is an outgoing one and one we spoke about recently. It seems that Ben Woodburn is a serious target for Stevie G and Glasgow Rangers. He's back from Sheffield United. His loan spell there didn't work out. He picked up an injury, and it looks like maybe Stevie G wants to bring him up there, and worked out well for Kent. So let's see what happens if he goes up there. Hopefully he can progress and kick his career on a little bit, because it seems to have stalled a little bit, but you'd never want to be too critical of a young kid. How do you feel on Naby's playtime? I'd like to see him get a little bit more, Ben. I think there's a massive, massive potential in that kid. I say kid because I'm old, but he's not a kid. He's 23, but I think he's going to be immense for us. I really do. I think he is going to be part of our midfield for the next 6 or 7 years. And I hope that we have him here for the peak of his career, because when he settles, when he fulfills his potential as a player, I think he's going to be one of the best in the Premier League in that position. Manchester City and FFP allegations. City have refused UEFA committee's request for comment, arguing their Spiegel stories are based on hacked or stolen emails. No UEFA investigation is ongoing. See, this pisses me off, Erno. Not you, buddy. Jesus, I'm thanking you for putting it in, but if that isn't an admission of fucking guilt, basically, I don't know what is. They're not saying, nah, it's bullshit, all those stories are nonsense. They're saying how they got them was illegal. Now, yes, there is an argument for that. Of course there is. But that doesn't stop the facts being true, if the facts are true. They still allegedly did this. They hid 30 million. They rerouted money around other businesses and made it look like it was coming from Etihad for sponsorship. And I hope to fucking God they get to the bottom of it. I really do. Between Manchester City and PSG, I hope they get to the bottom of it. And if there's nothing there and there really isn't anything there, then that's fair enough. But if there is, throw the fucking book at them, because they've clearly tried their best to circumvent the rules. If there is. I have to say if. As I said, if there's nothing there, then there's nothing there. But there is. There is definitely something there. There is. Allegedly, there is. Allegedly. But there is. Allegedly. Jesus had a shocker at the World Cup, and Firmino should have started ahead of him, said Mohammed. James Rodriguez to snub Arsenal for the red. Seen that this morning. Any truth, do you think? Spoke about it a little bit earlier on, Mackenzie. No, I don't think there is truth to it. Not at 62 million. I think, as people have pointed out, why not spend another 15-20 million and try and get Isco? It makes much more sense. Do you think we won't dip into the transfer market? Said Scrapping Irish. I don't in this window, unfortunately, but I fully believe Klopp has stuff lined up for the summer. I think he has a plan in place. He doesn't want to be rushed into making a purchase because of what seems like a bit of an injury crisis. He doesn't want to panic. I think he's a calm, level-headed dude. We all lost our minds when Coutinho was moved out, and I have to say I was really pissed off at the time that we didn't have anybody in to replace Coutinho, or we didn't have a plan in place. But Jurgen Klopp had a plan, and Jurgen Klopp's plan worked, and Jurgen Klopp got us to a Champions League final last year and secured our place in the top four again. So obviously we just have to realise that we've got a good man there running the club, or looking after the club, and just back him. Lifelong fan from Virginia Beach. Any other Reds in the area? Said Benjamin Davis. He wants to know if there's anybody from that neck of the woods. Make yourself be known and say hello to Ben, or Benjamin, excuse me. I make 100 grand a week just washing Craig and Connor's cars, said Brian Morrissey. There you go. Not too shabby, mate, and you do a fine job of it as well. Okay, some more comments. I'm looking forward to the arrival of my mod's company car, said Anthony. Did you not get it yet? We're changing over though. We're going for hover vehicles now, Anthony, because road cars were so last year. Hello from Sligo, said Ben. Hello, Ben, how are you? Amazingly, I've been to Sligo, Ben, which is crazy. You probably think it's not really that crazy, dickhead. It's in your own country. But yeah, I've been to Sligo, and it's where I got my first ever Liverpool shirt. I think I said this to you guys before. The grey candy shirt was my first ever shirt, and I got it for my birthday when I was in Sligo. So yeah, there you go. Ben's here going, do I care? Dickhead. I mean, fuck you and your candy shirt. I'm just saying hello, pal. Don't get ahead of yourself. I'd never drive a Lamborghini. Driven a Ferrari, Porsche, Aston, Bentleys, and zillions of Audi and Mercs. Yeah, look, if I was loaded, mate, and I had to have a car, I wouldn't drive a Lambo or Ferrari either, because they're for dickheads. I'd drive an Aston Martin, like a reasonable person. Is Ryan Kent, Craig, as is Ryan Kent, they really want him to stay beyond the end of the season, potentially permanently. He's open to it as well, but his head is between the two clubs. I would say that that's probably a good move. I can't see Ryan Kent working out with Liverpool, John, if I'm being honest. If he wants to go to Rangers and the club can work something out money-wise, then for me, I would say, yeah, go ahead and do it. Kev said I played football 4 times against David Beckham. There you go, mate. There you go. That's class. That's absolutely class. I know I definitely played against Robbie Keane, and I think I played against Damien Duff. I think. I know you're probably saying, well, how do you not know? Well, we were both kids at the time. He played for Lord Celtic. I played against Lord Celtic. We're about the same age. I think I probably played against Damien Duff, but I know I definitely played against Robbie Keane, and he didn't score past me because we drew 0-0, so I remember that much. Or did we win 1-0? He definitely didn't score anyway. I pray City get stripped of their titles. I mean, see, the thing about that is, if they got stripped of them, whoever gets them, it's such a hollow victory, so let them have their fucking titles. Just fuck them out of Europe and relegate them if they were found to be really breaking the rules. And of course, you know, there's different levels of this shit. If everything was the worst case scenario and everything was really, really bad, relegate them. But just like was done for match fixing and stuff in Italy, relegate them. But I don't think we'll ever get to that point. I don't think anyone has the balls to do that. Any truth in Connor Cody returning to us? No, just spoke about that one a few minutes ago, buddy. It looks like he's going to sign a new contract at Wolves. Kirby's from Washington. There you go. Fabinho should be fine for right back. I would say Milner, personally, Samuel. Matip should be fit, fingers crossed. I'd like to see Milner at right back and Fabinho in centre mid, because I'd rather that than the other way around. I just think we'd get more going forward if we had Fabinho in the 6 and Milner at right back than if we switched it around and played Henderson in the 6. Obviously Milner would probably be just a bit beside Henderson or a little bit ahead of him. Felipe Anderson and Timo Werner. Please also Wan-Bissaka as a backup left back, said Furno. I'm looking forward to seeing Wan-Bissaka again, actually. He was very good in the game earlier on in the season against Liverpool. I remember a lot of Reds talking about him after the game. Niall Craig. Hi Craig. That's a really weird one to read out. Niall Craig. Hi Craig. How are you, Niall? Great to have you in again, buddy. I always recognise you from your old school Liverpool crest there. What do you think about Pep's comments after the Wolves game? He said they will chase us. Well, they've got no fucking choice, do they? We're 4 points clear of them. Look, I don't really care about what anybody else says, what Pep says. I mean, all we can do, got cool on him. Again, mate, please don't think I'm talking about you who are more annoyed by the Guardiola thing. There's no choice but to fucking chase. He can't do anything about it. All he has to do is hope that they can keep winning and that we drop points. We're in a great position and everything is in our own hands at this moment in time, and that's the way I'd like it. We keep winning and they can do nothing about it. Why are you already skipping my posts? Again, I'm not doing it on purpose, Brian. I really get annoyed when people say that about me skipping their posts. I don't fucking do it on purpose. I try and read as many comments as I can. If I've missed it, Brian, I'm sorry, but I don't do it on purpose. But one way I can guarantee you not to get your future posts read out is by just saying moany little things like that, because it makes me feel like a dick. When I try to be as fair as I can about comments. Anto said, it doesn't matter how much money you take, you do a great job at what you both do. Oh, thank you, Anto, that's really kind. We don't make any fucking money. As of yet, Anto, we haven't seen 1 single cent from YouTube. From actual YouTube ad money, I mean. We've had some donations from people that have allowed us to buy a ring light and some other equipment and allowed us to keep the channel going, which, you know, we sincerely appreciate. But yeah, don't ever think we're making fucking money from this, because we ain't. And nor has it ever been our goal to do it. But it is good to have some income eventually coming in from the ad revenue and super chats and stuff. That will definitely make a difference to us, and it's allowed us to travel over to Liverpool at the end of the season and a few other bits that we've paid for out of our own pocket. And when we get the YouTube money back, then we'll sort it out. But yeah, it's definitely taken a weight off. It took us 6 or 7 months to get monetized when we should have got monetized a long time ago. But it's done now, and we're delighted. I love where the channel is at the minute. Although we wanted to keep pushing on towards 10,000. We've set ourselves a target of 10,000 subscribers before the end of the season. We are now heading towards the end of January, so what, February, March, April, May, 4-ish months to do it. I think we can do it. We're just over 2,500 away. If you're watching and you haven't yet subscribed, we're only 11 away from our next little target of 25, so if you could hit that subscribe button, drop a like on the stream, and send Connor to Space Camp, because he's over in Liverpool now getting ready for Space Camp. But if when we get to that 10,000, then it's all systems go, and he's definitely going to Space Camp. Promise he'll take pictures and all. Wear his little NASA t-shirt. NASA. He's not going to the fucking Bahamas, Craig. NASA. Your favourite crest? It's a beautiful crest, to be fair. Do you get to many games? Not as many as I'd like, Mackenzie. This season, I haven't got to a single one because I haven't been able to get a single ticket. Last year, I got to 3 or 4. Season before, 4 or 5, and then going back years after that, it used to be somewhere between 5, 6, 7 games a season, but I can't get tickets, and I'm not the only one. If I could get tickets, I'd go over to a lot more. But look, everybody is in this position, I think, and the more successful we become, the harder it's going to get tickets. So I guess we're just going to have to either start paying through the nose for them, or maybe next season I'm thinking of redoing things and maybe just buying some corporates at the start of the year and biting the bullet and paying corporate prices, if that's the only way I can get it. I can't go through another season not going to a game. I feel like such a dick this year not getting over to a single one. Emojis get Craig's attention, said Alpha GC. He's a man in the know. I love reminding United fans they copied the former Liverpool badge. Nice. Anfield Agenda gets paid by Bitcoin and not money. Yeah, that frightens the shit out of me, if I'm being honest, that whole Bitcoin thing. Way above my pay grade. Right, I said I had a little bit on Virgil van Dijk earlier on, actually. The Echo ran an article with some good statistics on Virgil van Dijk's time at Liverpool. So, this article focused on his first 50 games for the Reds, and here's a few statistics for you. 71.69% of his duels won in those first 50 games. 33 wins, 7 draws and 10 defeats. 24 clean sheets for Liverpool in those 50 games. He's completed 3,643 passes. And amazingly, there was one period where we went 918 minutes between conceding goals. Just think about that, 918 minutes. That's basically what? 10 games? Allowing for a little bit of injury time, maybe 8 3/4 games or something like that. Without the Reds conceding a goal, that is amazing. So yeah, some interesting stuff there from Van Dijk's first 50 games at the club. The 24 clean sheets it's almost half, like it's pretty damn close to half of his games that he's played for us have ended in clean sheets. That's really impressive stuff, and it just goes to show the impact he's had on not just the club, but the defensive unit and the players around him, because I think it's fair to say that everybody has stepped up since Van Dijk has arrived. Who's the superstar we're linked to? James Rodriguez, we spoke about earlier on. 62 million being mentioned. Arsenal also linked, but apparently he's chosen Liverpool. I don't buy it. Can you fly from Dublin to Stansted? Absolutely, Kev. I've done it on a few occasions. I can fly to any of them, but Stansted's really easy with Ryanair. Craig gave me the spare keys to the Subaru and my deal. Yeah, there you go. Subaru? I'd never drive a Subaru, Tom. I don't like them. I could probably get you a cop ticket. Email me, I might be able to help you out, said Samuel. That's okay, mate. I can't take one ticket, to be fair. I wouldn't do that to Connor. I know that sounds weird, but we're a team. So if we go over together. If we don't, then we don't. What else have we got? Even the rip-off trips are booked out on all the Irish sites at Skipper Dog. Some of the prices were absolutely scandalous. I remember putting up the prices for the Bayern Munich game, and it was like a hotel room and a match ticket was 650 quid or something. And that was without flights are on. That was just a hotel and match ticket. It was ridiculous. My first game on Saturday this season from Newcastle, so it's hard to get my hands on tickets, but in the Cop this weekend, so fingers crossed. Enjoy it, Mackenzie. Enjoy it, mate. I'm glad to hear you're getting down. Hopefully the Reds pick up 3 points for you and you've got a bit of entertainment along the way, but first and foremost, it's about the 3 points, mate, isn't it? Enjoy it, though. Enjoy it. Would you rather win the league this year and then retain it next year to get number 20, or win the league this year in the 6th European Cup? 6th European Cup. No, I mean, that would be beautiful. To win the league and then go on and lift number 6 next year, that would be, yeah, I'd take that one. Personally, but yeah, I just love Europe. I love the Reds lifting the European Cup. It's just been too long since he won the Premier League, so that's why I'm so focused on it this year. But after this year, to be honest, I'm not interested in chasing United in their 20. I'd much rather go and get a 6th European Cup, because that's the big boy table, really. Craig, a lot of United fans have come out of hiding and are giving it large about De Gea being better than Alisson and being the best keeper in the world. What's your thoughts? That De Gea is the best keeper in the world, is my thoughts, if I'm being honest. I love Alisson, and I think for the system that we play, Alisson is going to end up being the perfect keeper for us over the next few years. But if we're being honest about this and we're looking back over the last few years and giving credit where it's due, then I have to say I think David De Gea is the best goalkeeper in the world, even after going through a little bit of a sticky period. That's just me pushing aside my Liverpool bias and being honest. Kills me to say it because he's a United player, but I think, I try and give credit where it's due. VVD lost 1 tackle in the Premier League this season, said Stig. 1 fucking tackle. Moreno loses that in the first half of a game. More than that, probably. Craig and Connor, the ultimate bromance. No, it's just more about respect, Niall, to be fair. We entered into this as, 50-50. We run it between us. If Connor was to go to a game without me, I wouldn't take it personally. I mean, if he goes with his mates, that's completely up to him. But if we were getting tickets through here, I wouldn't feel right about doing it without him. It's just a personal thing. Now, as I said, if he went to a travel agent and booked tickets with his mates, then, I mean, that's completely another thing. But I couldn't take one ticket from here and disregard him. I couldn't do it. I'd rather miss out. Do you have any guilty pleasures? Look at me. I'm a fat fuck. Of course I have guilty pleasures. I told you guys before, every night I finish this stream, I go downstairs and I eat a bag of Kyo's, I go to the freezer and I get my peanut M&M's out of the freezer. And yes, I do keep them in the freezer, because I think if you haven't tried it, peanut M&M's out of the freezer, it's a game changer. And then of course I drink my diet chav. But other than that, no, I have a pretty boring life, Alpha G. Yeah, pretty boring life. I watch a lot of Netflix, I read some books, do this, look after my kids and my wife, and that's it. Pretty boring. But what is a guilty pleasure anyway these days? I mean, to be fair, I could give you a really dirty example of what I would consider a guilty pleasure for somebody, but is listening to Take That, somebody would say, oh, that's my guilty pleasure because it's embarrassing, but it's not really a guilty pleasure, it's just listening to music for somebody. I've always took a little bit of, I don't know what the phrase I'm looking for here is. I'd never understood the phrase guilty pleasure. Dropping 5 points will get us 100 points, said Bogdan. I'm not even going to try and pronounce your surname, my friend. If we can get through this injury crisis, we'll be unstoppable, said Sam. VVD hasn't been dribbled past this season, said Furno. Who cares about having the best keeper if the rest of the defence is shit? I mean, yeah, fair enough, Dave. I was only answering a question from somebody about the goalkeeper. I would much rather have our back 5 than their back 5 every single day of the week. Difference is Alisson has a great defence and is a great keeper. De Gea has Phil Jones in front of him. Mohamed Salah, King of Egypt, is in. How are you, sir? Thank you for joining us. BA flights are so expensive from Bermuda. I'd love to watch one game and see Liverpool, said James Painter. From Bermuda, nice. Nice, James. Yeah, look, you'll get over, buddy. You'll get over at some point to see them. I can only imagine, though. I mean, that's what I was saying earlier on. That's why some people would say you don't go to games, fuck you. And let's be honest, there are some people who would have that outlook, and it's disgusting. It's one of the things that when I started doing podcasts, I always tried to aim them at people who were overseas or that, had to travel long distances for games or drive from one end of England up to the other, because I feel for them. I don't like this whole, what's the phrase I'm looking for again? not holier than thou, but just because you fell out of your mother's vagina in a specific postcode, for me, doesn't give you the right to lord it over somebody else and call them not a real fan or tell them to fuck off and support the club where they grew up in. I've never understood that, never one bit. I could make a very detailed and passionate argument to somebody from, let's say, Manchester who supports Liverpool as to why I have more right, if you want to go down his way of thinking or their way of thinking, to support Liverpool than they would. I could make a very detailed, articulate argument about Liverpool and Scousers and the history and the bloodline of the boats and the famine and all that stuff, but I'd be just as much of a dick as they are. I fully feel like you support Liverpool because for whatever reason in your life or whatever moment or jersey you liked or player that you liked, whatever brought you to Liverpool Football Club, you found Liverpool Football Club. Liverpool Football Club has led all of us that are watching this stream now here. Now, that's the only reason we're here. We're not here because I'm a devilishly good looking fella, or we're not here because somebody in the chat is extremely witty. First and foremost, you're here and I'm here because of the word Anfield, which brought us here for Liverpool, and this is how we've all gotten to know each other. So I have a real fondness for people who are in America and get up at stupid o'clock to watch a game and travel 2 hours drive to watch it in a bar with their friends at 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning, or people in Australia who, when there's a Champions League game on, are up at ridiculous o'clock in the morning watching the games and have to go to bars and get into the bars before, I think, 11 p.m. before they close the bars then, and you can't get in after 11, so if the game's at 2 or 3 you have to get into the bar before 11, and all the sacrifices that people make around the world to watch Liverpool games. I look at people like that and I'm in admiration and I appreciate the shit out of them for what they do. And I think they're undervalued by a lot of the fan base, or a lot of Liverpool fans around the world, who look down their nose at people and feel like they have some divine right to feel better about or have more right to support the club than anybody else. I love everyone's little intricacies and everyone's little stories about how they came to support the club. And this is why I said when we started this, that's where we want to go with it. We want to meet and get to know as many people from as many parts of the world as possible and find out why they fell in love with the club and how they see the club, and have this little community of wonderful, fucked up, lifelong, brand new, every neck of the world's Reds just sharing this mad little ride that we're on with Jurgen Klopp at the minute. I've seen loads of people from Ireland and Europe who are more passionate about Liverpool than some Scousers, said Niall. Not many Mancs support Liverpool. Doesn't mean that you can't be living in Manchester, mate. You could be from London living in Manchester. Again, I was just using it as an example. Without the supporters around the world, clubs don't have the money that they have now. Exactly. You can add to that, John, by saying that the Irish, the Norwegians, the Americans, the Chinese, whoever it is, visiting the cities, whether it be Liverpool, Manchester, London, adds a lot of economic support to that city as well. You can definitely say that. Everybody that comes in spends a lot of money every weekend that they're there. I'm sure the city welcomes them in. I'm sure the mayors welcome them in. Then, you can go very, very deep with this stuff, and you'd be amazed quite how much money football brings into a city. When you've got someone like Liverpool or Manchester United or any Premier League club really. With success brings fans from all around the world, said Anthony. Exactly. And you're going to have a lot of new fans now. If Liverpool go on and lift the Premier League title this year, we're going to have new fans from every neck of the woods. You'll see people burning their Manchester City shirts in some parts of the world. And I'm being literal about this. Literally fucking them in the bin and wearing a Liverpool shirt the next season, because there are people that are that way and just want to support a winner. And whether we think that's right or that's wrong, it is what it is. But success brings in new fans and new interest, new sponsorship, which again will of course make it harder for us all to get tickets. But success is what we want at the end of the day. Fans bring success, success brings fans, said Niall. Sudarshan wants a shout out. I think I've just done it, mate. Again, if I fucked up your name, I apologise. But welcome to the stream, my friend. I've no sympathy for them overseas fans sunning themselves all the time, said Kev. Where are we? Everton's fan base stretches as far as Rill, said Anthony. All the way down to beautiful Rill. Thank you, Craig, Master of Ceremony and Supreme Leader. You're very welcome, Rod. It's funny you say that. I've been watching a program I told you guys yesterday about Scientology a lot lately, and I feel like I could be a bit of a David Miscavige. I feel like I could be a dictator. I said this to my wife before. I think I could definitely be a bit of a Kim Jong Un or somebody of that ilk, and be a supreme ruler of a country. I think I have that in me. I'd do it badly, and the country would be bankrupt in a week, but I think I could do it. I'm a Manc and I support Liverpool. There you go. There you go. Thank you for saving my ass, David. There you go. A Manc that supports Liverpool. Kirby said, I live in America and sometimes I have to wake up early for a game. If I'm off to school, I go on Google and look up the score because I love Liverpool so much. Exactly. Sacrifices, commitments, interests, it's all there. And it doesn't matter if you're from Washington, I believe you said you were from, Kirby, if you're from Dublin, or if you're from Liverpool. To be fair, Craig, Liverpool versus Scum game last year, I saw some of the main stand taking photos of Mourinho instead of abusing them. I couldn't imagine myself not abusing a Manc manager at Anfield. Yeah, you're going to get that as well though, aren't you? You're going to get selfie sticks. You're going to get people who have their back to the football at times so they can get a picture. And I don't agree with it personally, of that side of it. Take all the fucking photos you want before and after the game and at half time and do what you need to do. But personally, when I'm there, I'm watching the football for those 90 minutes. But that's just me. I haven't perhaps just saved up for 3 years to come over from Asia to get there, and I want to memorise it however they want to memorise. I can't tell people what to do. I lived in Sweden, had to watch pool games in the Celtic Supporters Club, which was okay, until I had to watch Liverpool versus Celtic in my pool jersey. Do you know what, mate? Again, you had to make sacrifices and you've done them. So well done to you. Craig, you would use all the country's money to buy players for Liverpool. If it came to me, no, I wouldn't. I'd definitely be buying coal cookers and Lambos, mate. Definitely, I promise you. I've now... What's this? I'm trying to read your comment, Jose, but I'm struggling to figure it out here. Yeah, I've lost you. I can't figure that one out, buddy. Sorry. Craig, if you can go back in time, which era of history would you travel back to? Oh, the 50s, I'd say. Yeah, 1950s in America. I think I could definitely be a slicked back hair dude, leather jacket, white t-shirt, driving around in my big American car with the roof down. Yeah, listen to rock and roll, and yeah, definitely the 50s in America, I think. Definitely wouldn't have been a hippie. I wouldn't have been into that 70s love stuff. Yeah, definitely I think the 50s. My dad always told me I should have been born in the 50s. Funny thing is, you guys look at me and you probably won't believe me when I say this, but I used to have a bowler haircut. Like, I used to have a Paul McCartney type haircut when I was a kid as well. Best place I ever watched the game when I was in Turkey on holiday at the family Liverpool bar there. They were playing Manx, beat them, then Babel scores the winner. Yeah, look, there's some amazing Liverpool bars around. We spoke about Shankly's bar in Salou, which I've been to on a couple of occasions. And I hope to get over and do a live show there at some point, actually. I have to say, it's definitely on my wish list of places to go and do a live Anfield Agenda show. And thankfully, I have a little bit of contact with them, so maybe I could make that a reality someday. But yeah, if you're ever in Salou, head to Shankly's bar. It's an amazing place. What time's the game at the weekend? 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock, mate. And it's not on in Ireland this week either, so I'm struggling myself to try and make sure I have the game. Martin said time to give VVD the captain's armband. It's not going to happen, Martin, while Jordan Henderson's at the club, mate. As much as that may disappoint you, while Hendo's here, he will be the club captain. Whether you think that's right or wrong, that's your decision. If this is not my decision, I just, that's what Klopp will do. I had to watch Liverpool in a Bangkok cell with 50 ladyboys. Best night ever, said Kev. There has to be a fucking story behind that, Kev, that I want to hear at some point, mate. There has to be. Guys, last shout out if you're watching. We're about 12 subscribers away from our next target of 25. So if you're watching and you haven't hit the subscribe button, please hit it. And of course, if you haven't hit the like button on the stream, that would be great if you could do that as well. I can't stand people who go to the match and don't chant and support, said David. No AIDS in the 50s, says Rod. There you go. There you go. I'm a boring fucker though, in that sense, Rod. I mean, really boring. Craig, it read he's caught up with Sry. Oh, sorry, he was late. Went to support his local team in the FA Cup second round. There you go. Thank you, John. Thank you. Who was it, Jose? Did I miss that one? Oh, Weymouth. Oh, there you go, on the FA Trophy. There you go. Did they win? And well done. Go support your local teammate. That's great to see. I often wish that, like, I'm kind of in a shitty catchment area for even League of Ireland football. I kind of fall between two clubs. Really fascinating that AIDS wasn't a thing until the 70s and 80s, said Alpha G. Makes you think. The United game is on in Ireland this weekend. Yeah, it is, John, unfortunately. I'm sure there's happy people there about that one, but it ain't me. Although, look, to be fair, swings and roundabouts, we got it last week, so, I mean, it is only fair. I'd love to see Fabinho at right back at the weekend. Could see him spraying the sand wedge and passing about. I want to see him at number 6, and I want to see Milner at right back. Am I the only person that wants to see Fabinho playing in the 6 this week? Because a few people have mentioned him at right back, but for me, I think Milner is going to be at right back personally. Oh, Rick, I do have the fire stick, buddy. Don't you worry about that, sir. I do have that little trick that you're talking about. I can't really talk about it too much. What browser is that, by the way, Rick? If you don't mind me asking, are you going to FireDL or what is it when you're getting that? Can't talk too much on here, obviously. Again, Jack, you're mentioning the same thing. Can somebody just let me know which app or whatever to use on the little thing in question? Try the Premier League channel on Sky, mate. They show 3 o'clock games. Yeah, they do, but this week, Liam, it's United. Unfortunately. What else have we got? They lost 3-1. Sorry about that, mate. But, you know, you went and supported them. They're second in the league, 2 games in hand. So there you go. Promotion looks like it's on the cards. Active Dan said, come on, United. Again, a few United fans in tonight, but to be fair, you know, no trolling. They were all nice people. What does everyone think about supporting 2 teams, a local team? Mate, I don't have any problems with it. It makes, if you don't live close to Liverpool and you also want to go and support a local team, then fucking brilliant. The more football you can watch, the better, as far as I'm concerned. What would be your managerial philosophy? Attack? Honestly, I would be a very attack-minded manager if I was a football coach. But I would really... Yeah, I would be very detailed and detail-oriented. I would be one of these fuckers that doesn't sleep at night, mate. And I would be a nightmare to work for as well if I was a coach. I would want everything at my disposal. As many pieces of information as possible, and you know, never mind Bielsa having people spying. I mean, I would fucking have people planted all over the place. I would be trying to bend the rules left, right and centre. I promise you that much. Fabinho is better in the 6, but don't think Milner's keeping up with Zaha. I'd also wear tracksuits. None of this wearing suit nonsense for me. Tracksuits all the way. Rod, goodbye lads. Time to take the wife's car to the mechanic, then off to work. Thank you for dropping in, Rod, mate, and have a good day. Will the Gravy King take the Huddersfield job? No, Tom, he's ruled himself out of it already. I believe his big fucking head said something along the lines of, not even I can save Huddersfield. Something along those lines, but he's definitely distanced himself from the job. Would you kill baby Hitler or let him live? It's not for me to kill kids, mate, so not my call. I'd let him live because it's not my job to kill. I couldn't live with killing somebody, even if it was for the greater good. It's a fucked up question, though. This channel will be really big one day. Remember this comment, said David. Mate, I sincerely hope you're right. I really do. Well, we're doing okay, though. First 10 months and we're at 7,360 subs. I'm over the moon with that. But yeah, thank you for the kind words, mate. I hope you're right as well. Strategy, win, 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 and fucking win, or you're transferred, said John. There you go. Okay, cool. Thank you, Rick. I read your comment there, buddy. I can't obviously, you know, go too far into it, but I will have a look into it. Right, guys, I think I'm going to wind it down a little bit, if that's okay. And Kev, I've seen your comment, mate, and I definitely want to find out about that. What's this? Your channel is way better than Red Men. They're a bunch of compromises, said Adam J. Thank you, mate. Although, look, I'm not speaking ill of Red Men whatsoever. They do some good stuff. But I think the major difference I could see, apart from the fact that they're a very well run professional outfit, is when we started this channel, and I can't speak about them, of course, because I've no right to. But when we started this channel, I always knew that I had fuck all interest in getting access to the club or interviewing the manager or players or anything like that. I never wanted that allegiance with the club. I was always fan based, so I only ever wanted to talk to Liverpool fans and find out about you guys and what you guys are thinking. So that, I suppose, allows me a little bit more freedom, perhaps, in what I can say and what I can do and the way I can express myself. And again, I can't speak on behalf of anybody else. Whenever anybody mentions us, even in the same conversation as the Anfield Rap and Red Men TV, I take that as a massive compliment, because those guys are they're the level that you have to aspire to, really. They're the well established, well run, fantastic accounts. As I said, I had an Anfield Rap subscription for many years, and one of the best fivers I used to spend every month. I can't speak highly enough of them. Fantastic group of lads. But yeah, we're just a little bit different here, because I just want to talk to you guys. I don't give a fuck. If I can ever see Jurgen Klopp, great, but it's not an aim of mine. I don't want to chase it. I've no interest in licking anybody's arse to get there. Again, not that I'm saying anybody else does. I just want to be me and see what fucking happens. But I also want more people involved in this. I don't want it just to be me. I want to have people from all over the world sending us in a little video and letting us know how they've seen the game, and let me know their thoughts on the transfer windows, and just sharing all this content. We've got a website just sitting there as well, doing nothing. If anybody doesn't even know about the website, AnfieldAgenda.com, it's sitting there and we haven't done anything with it in ages, because we just don't have enough hours in the day at the minute to get things running properly, which is why I'm trying to round up some more people now. We've got Kevin, and we've got Jersey Boy helping us out as well. And we've got Connor, we've got myself, and we're trying to build up a team and a group, and hopefully we can get to a point where we can just manage this together, and just, everybody pitches in, we all do a little bit, and before you know where we are, we're this big fucking community of Liverpool fans taking over YouTube, which would be amazing. Right, guys, I'm going to say goodnight, if that is okay. Will you ever do fan cams, as in outside grounds? No. But what we have said, Alpha G, what I want to do is I want to go to supporters groups. So we spoke to the guys from Calgary in Canada, or we're going to go to maybe the guys up in Uri and do a watch along live with the supporters groups and interview them and talk to them after the game and get their opinions. But no, not fan cams as such, because that's the thing that Red Men do, and they do well, and they get to go to the games and stuff. But we'll do our own version of it. I want to become a travelling channel that gets to go and meet as many Reds as possible and show other people how amazing Reds are in Berlin, in London, in Ireland, in Holland, wherever it might be, and show what it means to them and put it out on the channel and say, look, you think that just because these people are thousands of miles away that it doesn't mean something to them? Watch this shit. Watch how they react when the Reds score. Watch their celebrations after the game. See the tears in their eyes. See how much it means to them. And that's what I want to do. I want to show everybody what Liverpool's about. I can't think of a better way of doing that than getting to go around and meet people and show the world why you guys are the best fucking fans in the world. Anyway, I think that's a nice way to finish up. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate the shit out of every one of you, I really do. Thank you for giving up your time yet again tonight to come on here and talk with me. Tomorrow we'll start looking ahead to the game against Palace a little bit more, because it's starting to come around. It's been a bit of a gap between the two games, and we've been spoiled over Christmas with lots of games coming thick and fast. But look, love each and every one of you guys. Thank you so much for your time again. Don't forget to hit the like button if you haven't done so. Drop the subscribe button as well if you haven't done that. And thank you. Look after yourselves, look after your families, love each and every one of you, and up the motherfucking Reds.